Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ella. I'm an 18-year-old crochet artist who's been crocheting for the past about 5.5 years. And today is gonna be kind of like, it's made off of one topic. We're gonna be making something for one of my family members. We're gonna be making a baby blanket. He's having a baby with his girlfriend, and it's a baby boy. So I'm gonna be making a blanket for him. And it's gonna be a green square blanket, and then I think a border of moss stitches, so something simple, something cute, nothing crazy. And then I might also work on, because I have two other blankets I'm working on, because I have a scrap blanket I'm working on, which I will talk about the scrap blanket more in detail later about it, because I had to make changes. And then I'm also working on a new moss blanket that I literally just started like not even 20 minutes ago. I do have a moss blanket and it's scrap, but I'm like, I have one too many scrap blankets. Like I have two, going on 3. So I might get rid of the scrap moss blanket and replace it for a traditional moss blanket that's planned out with colors and everything. And I don't have a blue blanket, so I'm making a blue moss blanket, which I will show you what that looks like so far. We're gonna do the baby blanket first, try to get that done, and then if we have any extra time, I will dabble and work on my other projects. But without further ado, I would say get your projects, get a snack, and let's jump right into it. Okay, so for the baby blanket, these are the colors I'm working with. We're working with an ice blue, cream, and white. Just something nice and simple. I was gonna do navy and baby blue in here too, but I was like, I have really low on those, and I'm using those for my moss blanket. So we're gonna use these colors instead. The order of the colors for the blanket is gonna be white, ice blue, and cream. So it's just gonna be nice, simple, nothing crazy. And it's just gonna be a traditional granny square. I did look online to see how big they are making these blankets, and for a granny square blanket, I think a girl did 26 to 28 rounds. So we're gonna do kind of that. And also for this pattern, each round of color is 2 rounds. So it'll be 2 rounds of the granny square is gonna be the same color. Just so 1, I don't have many ends, and 2, it just kind of has not as so many like tiny stripes, like the stripes are a little bit chunkier. I'm gonna get started on this, and I will come back once I have done 1 full round of all the colors together. So about, I'll say a third of the way through. That would be about a third. So, but I will come back once I have gotten started on the baby blanket. Okay, so I just got done with the first rotation of all the colors, and this is what the square is looking like. I'm starting on the next section for the white, but it is looking really cute though. I would preferably like if I did like navy or something, but I'm using navy for the blanket and for my other blanket. You might be asking, well, you're using ice blue for the blanket too. I have a lot of ice blue that I need to get rid of, so because I know I won't run out of the ice blue, but if I use the other 2 colors, I could potentially run out. So, but she's looking cute. She's looking cute. I do like her a lot. It's a little bit lighter. It's all white, which that's fine. A lot of people do white blankets. They do multicolored. They do blankets like pink blankets. They do blankets that are more white, more lighter colors. Not really dark blankets. I've seen a couple dark blankets, but not really. They're all usually kind of light color of some kind. But this is what mine's looking like. And I know it kind of looks a little meh, but I feel like once we get more of the colors in, like more rounds of the colors, I feel like it's gonna all come together. If we did 26 rounds, we would end up with the white, and then we would do blue, cream, white for the border, or we could just do 2 rounds or 3. I'm not sure yet. And then, but if we do 28, I would end on ice blue and then do cream and white, which I think I might just do 2 rounds for the border. Doesn't matter if it's white or blue that I end up on. So, but we'll just see once we get more into it and see how the size is looking. Like I just said, it's gonna be 2 rows of moss stitch for it, because it's just nice and simple. It's clean, and I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna continue doing on this, and I'm gonna come back once I have about, what are we on? This is our 4th section, so I'm gonna say probably about another rotation, if not like 1.5 rotations. So I'll come back once I've gotten more of the blanket so we can see how much progress we've made and how close we are to finishing it. Okay, so it's been a hot minute. I kind of took a break because one, I was hungry and I did not eat anything after I got home from school. And I worked on it a little bit myself, and this is how far we are on it. We're actually pretty good. I know it looks wonky. Bear with me. I'm gonna shake it out, steam it, all that. It's gonna look great. But this is what she looks like. I really do like the colors. At first I was kind of mixed about it, but I think after a couple rows and a couple repeats, I was like, yeah, she's cute. She's cute. I'm going to do 3 more rounds, so I will end up back on, no, that's a lie. I would end up with, yeah, I'm right, okay. 3 more rounds, so I would end up back on the ice blue, and then I would do cream and white for the border. And the blanket will be about 22 rounds, so I cut it a little bit short than the original. But it's just like, I think it's because I'm using a bigger hook too. And I think like in the video it looked like she used like a 4 or 4.5. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter for this one. So if you want to make a big blanket like this, I'm doing roughly 22 rounds, 2 rounds of moss stitch, and then I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook for the whole thing. And then the yarn obviously is acrylic, and it's by Loops and Thread. The white though is from Super Saver, but it's the only way I have. But if I had Loops and Thread white, that's the white I would use as well. She's almost done. I just gotta do 3 more, and then the border, and that's it. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I might or might not, because I also have other blankets I'm working on. I actually have one on my bed. You can't see it because I'm blocking it, but I just started working on it I think a couple hours ago before recording. And then I have another one behind me, like all the way by my window right there, and that's a new scrap blanket, which if we get to that after the blanket, then I will talk about it and all that, bring it all down. It should be done like in the next like hour or 2. And then yeah, and if we don't get to it, I will show you guys what those blankets look like, just so y'all have a basis of what I'm kind of going for. I'll be back once I am done with the body of the blanket. So after I do 6 more rounds, I will come back and I will show y'all how I'm doing the border. Okay, so I just got done doing the whole base of it before doing the border, the whole body, and this is what she looks like. I know it's a lot bigger. I was gonna do an extra 2 rows, but this is at 24. It's getting big. It is pretty big. So for a baby blanket. So I'm gonna stop here and then I'm gonna do the border. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's only like 6 o'clock, so we're actually really good on time. I really like the colors on this. It looks really good. Nice and basic, nothing too crazy. Because I wanted to go for like a simple vibe, but also give out like, hey, it's a boy. I didn't want to make like just a random blanket, a baby blanket, and then not really knowing the gender. So since it's a boy, I kind of wanted to include some blue in it, just to be like, hey, it's a boy. I didn't want to do anything like cutesy, girly, all that, and then it's a boy. But this is why I did it after the gender reveal and not before. Their baby shower is not till like the beginning of February, so I'm getting this done now just so I have it ready to go. But yeah, I'm going to start working on the border, which is just 2 rounds of moss stitch. I might do an extra round of white. I'm not 100% sure. It depends if I like it or not. But I'll probably just do 2 since it's already so big. But I'm gonna do the border, and once I come back, I'll show you what the whole blanket looks like all completed. Okay, so I just got done with the blanket and I just got done with the border, and I looked at it. I had to stretch it out a little bit because I just recording because of the moss stitch. But she is done and ready, and this is what she looks like. Look how pretty! I know I gotta steam it still, so she looks a little wonky, but like overall, like she looks super pretty. This is how big it is. So this is a 22 rounded granny square with 2 rounds of moss stitch, and I did 2 rows for every color just so the stripes would be a little bit bigger, and I just did 1 round of moss for the colors for the border. So you can see the blue and the cream, and then the white was the last chunk that I did. So I would say this is pretty big. It's pretty, I would say this can probably stay up for like probably like almost like a 1-year-old, I would say, if not more. I'm not 100% sure. But if you want to make this blanket, the basic details will be acrylic yarn, a 5mm hook, and then you need to make a 22 rounded granny square with making 2 rounds of clusters per row, and then 2 rounds of moss stitch for the border, and that's it. You'll be asking, how'd you get done with it so quick? Did you have to weave in ends? No. I don't weave in ends for granny squares. I did magicking out my colors together because it's just so much easier for me, and I would rather have the knots than having to weave a bunch of ends. Yeah, it's not really as clean, but you gotta do what you gotta do to save yourself time. This blanket is officially done. I got it done within the whole day. Started around, it was like 2 o'clock, or I think 2? Was it 2? 2 if not 2:30. It's about 7:40, so that took me about 5.5 hours to make a whole baby blanket. Which I did take breaks. I would say probably like 4.5, because I did take a good hour break to eat food, all that. I do love it. She's cute. Obviously, before I give this to my cousin and her girlfriend, I will steam it just so it is nice, clean, all that. And also I will give them washing instructions just so when if they get anything on the blanket, they know how to wash it. So that blanket is done. I think what we're gonna do is I'm probably going to get a little bit more on my scrap blanket, but I am gonna show you guys the moss stitch blanket that I'm working on, just so y'all can get a little like feeling of how it looks. But we're gonna work on my granny square scrap blanket, and I will talk more about my scrap blanket in a second. But yeah, let me show you my moss blanket. Okay, so this is what the moss blanket looks like so far. I did roughly about, I think I did like 120, I think 120 to 118 stitches for mine. And because with the moss stitch, you gotta do an even number. Because if you don't do an even number, it's gonna be off by a stitch, or you're 1 stitch or 1 stitch over. Do mine is obviously I'm gonna do the rows to how I want. And then for the border, I think I might just do a white nice border. Just a white nice border, and then have the blue in the middle, which I think that would look super freaking cute. If not, if I don't want to do white, or no, I think I might just do, like, make this all blue. So then I'll do this for like the border, like 6 rows for border like this. So yeah, but I literally just started this today and I've only gotten 6 rows. I'm hoping I can get this done probably within the next couple of weeks. If I had to guess, knowing how many projects I'm working on and I'm flipping between them, it'll probably take me around a month. And also I'm running short on baby blue and navy. Ice blue I'm fine on ice blue. But since this is single crochet stitch, I should be fine overall and shouldn't really be low on any of the yarn. But that's the moss blanket, and I am really excited for it because I don't have a blue blanket, like an all blue blanket. I have a green blanket, but I don't have a blue blanket. That's weird because blue is my favorite color. I don't know why I have not made a blue blanket. So this one's gonna be my blue blanket, probably my most used blanket because it's blue and it's cute. And I have used the other moss blanket, but not a lot though. I've used it a couple times, and I would say probably, I don't know how many I did that. I think I did roughly the same amount as this, in which I could do bigger. I could if I really wanted to. Already it's like kind of, if I hold it up, it's already like my wingspan. I know the rounds, I could just do, if I wanted to make it like really big, I could just do a crap ton of rounds around the moss stitch blanket if I really wanted to, just to kind of build up more. But yeah, So that's the moss blanket. And then the scrap blanket, there's been some ups and downs. As you know, I had my scrap blanket. We do not have the scrap blanket anymore. I know you might be asking, where is it? Let me show you. Oh, with the scrap blanket, it's very complicated because I switched from a star to a different type of blanket. And this is what my blanket looks like now. It's a granny stripe. I know there's yarn connected because I'm working on it a little bit, but that's okay. It's a granny stripe, and this is how it's looking so far. And yes, these are still the same colors from the blanket. I've chopped them down a little bit sometimes here and there, but not really. And right here, you can't see it because it's humongous, but it's my yarn ball, which is a lot bigger than you think it is. It's apparently this big. It's very big. I was shocked too when I rolled it up. I was like, this is really hard to work with because I have to kind of keep going around and stuff. So for the blanket, which I'm actually going to put a picture right here, just kind of give y'all how I'm going to describe this, and you can look at the visual. So with the blanket that I'm trying to do, there are technically, some people do 2, but I think for mine there might be 3 sections. The middle, the outer border, and then the final border. So the middle, which is kind of the center of the blanket, is the granny stripe, which is what I'm working on right now. It's going to be in the middle. It's not going to be super long, not super short, but it's going to be a good size. So then when I do the second portion, which is the thick border or the outer border, it's just going to be like a granny square, just going rounds and rounds and rounds all the way around, just to build the width and length of the blanket until I get to a size that I want. And so, which will be, I don't know yet. When that time comes, you know, once I get done with that, I'm probably gonna do somewhat of, you guessed it, a moss border, and it's probably gonna be 3 rounds. So it'll be a round of white, a round of tiny scraps all tied together for the middle, and then a row of white on top, so it gives a nice border. It's pretty much how the blanket's gonna look. Right now, how the blanket is, I did, how much did I chain? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember how much I chained. But she is not as much as my waistband, but it does go over my lap in a way, you know, so it lays over my lap completely. And so, but I'm telling you, for the, like, making the outer border, it's probably gonna be a good couple of rounds. I'm also doing a mix of, as you can see, a mix of stripe, but then also a mix of chunks, just to kind of give it more of a scrappy look to it. Like, see how on the bottom there was green and blue, and then there's like rows of lavender, cream, white, blue, and there's a chunk of pink and brown here. Like, we're just mixing it up a little bit. So I'm doing 2 chunks. I'm doing this dark blue, and then I'm doing some cream to make it, and then I'm gonna add back to the blanket, or I might add another color before and then add the color, because the next color on my ball is white, and as you can see, I just got done with a round of white. So I'm gonna work on this for a little bit, but I will come back once I've gotten a little bit more of the ball down. I'm probably gonna work on this for like maybe a little bit, not a lot though, because I am gonna work on it a lot more tonight. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll come back with a final update of the scrap blanket. Okay, so I've got more done on the blanket, and this is what she looks like now. I only added a few rows. I think I added about, another 5? About 5 rows. Now, this is what she looks like now. Get the whole view of all the colors. But yeah, that's pretty much it today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This one was kind of a lot. There was a lot of things going on. And I did finish a whole blanket in a single video. Kudos to me, guys. Which I was like sweating through. Like, I was like, I want to get this done in a single video, and I did. But overall, what we did was we completed the baby blanket for my cousin and his girlfriend for their baby shower. And then I did, I showed you guys my moss blanket. And then I did some of the scrap blanket. which I'm hoping the scrap blanket comes out good because it's gonna take a good hot minute because it's gonna be, there's a lot of steps, there's a lot of process to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As you already know, all my socials will be down in the description. I have TikTok, Instagram, and Lemonade. And speaking of socials, my website will be on screen right now at www.swagystitch.com. That's where I put all my products there. You can go get them now. I might start thinking of making more colorways for the Rockstar beanies, if not make a whole new product or something like that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but it'll probably be more colorways for the beanies because I do have a couple in mind that I would like to make. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time for another crochet vlog or another update on possibly my scrap blanket. Bye!